Okay, welcome to another Grungy Garage Sunday. I have my grungies on, and today we have Werner here. I guess you could call it maintenance we're doing on him. He's a little bit sluggish when he first comes off of a stop sign or a stoplight. So I'm thinking that it might be spark plug related. I'm not sure when the last time his spark plugs were even replaced. He only has 135,000 miles on him, so they probably were replaced at some point, but they probably also need it again. So just as a precaution, because he is 30 years old, I'm going to replace the spark plugs. I'm going to replace the spark plug lead wires and also the spark plug coil packs. And I have everything over here. Everything, of course, German Bosch OEM equipment. So that's what we're going to work on today. And hopefully after I do this, he'll run a little bit better. And even if he doesn't, the problem with these cars is you can't hook them up to a computer to tell you what's wrong. So you kind of have to diagnose them on your own. And a lot of it's trial and error. So I figured, well, with this car, the symptoms are spark plug related. So I'm possibly solving a problem, but also doing just some basic preventive maintenance on him as well because of his age. So that's what we're going to be getting into today, and I will be doing some other little snippets as I do the work. Okay, so to change the spark plugs on this car, it's actually very easy. You just have to, like with most cars, you have to take a few things apart to get to where you need to go. Now, the spark plugs themselves are actually located right under here, but this plate runs back up under the air handler hose. So the air handler hose has to actually come off first so I can get to the plate. So that's what we're going to do first, is we're going to get everything kind of taken apart, and then we'll go ahead and change the plugs. Okay, another Grungy Garage Sunday success. Werner is running. His spark plugs have been replaced. So now I'm going to take him out for a little spin and see if he's better. Okay, so we are taking Werner on a post spark plug replacement road test. He's driving beautifully. I think this was the issue. The sluggish engine wasn't every single time, so it may take a few drives for me to determine one way or the other whether this actually solved the problem. But we're coming up to a stop sign now. It was especially at full stops that I would notice a little sluggishness. So yeah, he seems to be doing really well. And of course, it's always a good thing when you work on a car and no warning lights come on afterward. That's always a good thing, especially when you're a novice like me. So stop sign again. Yeah, sounds good. Sounds very good. Not bad for a 32-year-old car. Okay, so we just got back from a test drive, and everybody's back where they belong. Got Victor back here in the garage. I still get surprised with myself when I go to tackle one of these jobs. Now, I've done spark plugs on 2 of the other cars already, but each car is a little bit different. And as you can see over here on Sebastian's trunk, I have my laptop set up so that if I do need to refer to the YouTube video that I find when I go to work on whatever it is that I'm working on, I can stop, go watch the video for a second, pause it, come back. And that's really how I learn, and that's really how I do most of what I do. I was really proud that today, excuse me, today I really didn't, the only thing I needed to do was watch the guy's video to understand how to unhook everything. And once I had everything unhooked and I was able to get to the spark plugs, the rest of it was easy. It's a spark plug. And because I've already done it a few times, I'm familiar with the process. So it really was not that difficult. Now over here, these are the original, some of the original wires for the spark plugs. These are the original, what they call the coil packs. These were all, this is what came with the car. These are the spark plugs themselves, and they are Bosch, but I don't believe they are the original plugs. I think because there's a lot of oil, if you look on these, there's a lot of oil down there on the threaded side that goes down into the engine, into the firing chamber. And Mercedes wouldn't have let the car leave the factory like that. The spark plugs were so easy to pull out. The first few, I didn't even need the ratchet wrench to loosen it, which was actually kind of scary. I mean, they just screwed right out. And it's because the threads had so much oil on them. They were so lubricated, they just untwisted. Again, the factory, it wouldn't have been like that. So either somebody replaced them at some point during the car's life, which is entirely possible. The car is 32 years old. So at some point, the plugs were either replaced by somebody, maybe someone who didn't really know what they were doing very well, or just a really shoddy mechanic that didn't tighten them. They're supposed to be in there pretty tight, like tight enough they're secure, not too tight that you can't get them out again. But I don't know. The whole spark plug thing, that was kind of strange. I was expecting, because it's a 30-some-year-old car, I was like, oh God, they're going to be seized in there and it's going to be difficult for me to get this out. No, it was so easy. Some of the wiring down in there, I did not replace because I did not know. This is the first time I've cracked into this car. So I ordered some of the wiring, and there was a few other things I didn't order because I simply didn't know that I needed it. And I did not see anything on, I always go out to, 3 or 4 different websites to see what parts are available. And I didn't see any additional wiring parts. So I thought, okay, you know what? We're going to replace everything that I bought that was new. So I replaced these wires, I replaced the coil packs, and of course the plugs. And I thought, let's button the car back up, see how it runs, see how it drives. If it's still sluggish or if it seems like it's not firing correctly, then maybe I can poke around some more. And if I find the additional wires that now I know what they look like, then I could always order the additional parts and, you know, just open it back up again and replace a few other things. But it seems to be, it's driving great. So it's kind of like, if it's not broke at this point, I'm not going to worry about trying to fix it. What I did today was quasi-preventive because the car is older. And it really probably did need new plugs. It was probably the plugs that was causing the sluggish engine to begin with. Spark plugs are really only meant to last maybe 50, 60,000 miles-ish, and then they should be replaced. So, I think it was probably just the plugs themselves. I don't think any of the wiring that was in there, even the stuff I replaced, I don't think any of the wiring necessarily had to be replaced. But while I was under there, I figured I may as well replace everything I can. So I'm not going to worry about replacing anything else right now. It's running great. You know, I'm going to drive it to work a few days this week, see if I notice anything, you know, strange. But I just took it on this drive. I just did a short video of the drive. It's running beautifully. So no complaints. But I am always really kind of surprised that I'm able to do these things. You know, I replaced everything and the car starts and it runs great. And it's just this weird satisfaction I get from knowing that I'm able to do these things. And it's not rocket science, but it is intimidating. Ask almost anyone and they're going to tell you, I don't really want to mess with cars. I don't want to get under there. So, you know, having the bravery to chance it, and every time I do something, it just makes me that more confident, you know, that much more confident. So, hopefully, you know, the next thing I tackle, again, it'll be a learning experience, but every single time I do something to one of these cars, it's giving me that much more confidence and making me feel that much better, not just about fixing the cars, but just about me. Like, it's just hard to explain, but it's a really good feeling. So, on that note, I haven't had a shower today and I feel gross and grungy. So I'm going to go get a shower and spend some quality time with the dogs. But, this was a really good grungy garage Sunday.